Hi guys, it's Wombat, and yes, the big map setup is back, sort of. It is not complete. There are still a couple of maps that needs to be upgraded for 132, but most of them are here, and I guess the most important maps would be Promods, EAA, Romania, Extended, Turkey, ROS, Rusmap, Great Step, etc. They are all here, with one exception, and that is Poland rebuilding. It didn't make it. We need to wait for an upgrade, but a little more on that later. I want to start by saying thank you, a big thank you to Arayas. Arayas, for those of you who do not know who he is the genius behind not only Romania Extended, but also the adaptation of Turkey for 119, for the scale of 119, which is ongoing right now. He's the guy who's going to fix that for us. He have also made several fixes for YKS Turkey to allow us to continue using the current, I think it's a 1 to 10 scale map, the current version, for us to still be able to use that with our big map setup. That is all thanks to him. And he have done it again. For those of you who have been following my big map setup, in the last version, before Promods came out for 132, we had to do some map modding to be able to use EAA together with the rest of the maps, simply because Turkey happens to have a city called Sign Up, and so does EAA. He have fixed that for us now, so he have added the changes that we needed to be able to add EAA to Promods to his YKS fix version 5, which all of you have to download, because I was the only one who had it this afternoon. The rest of you have to download it today. Links, as always, are in the description. So a huge thank you to Arayas for that. Please show him your appreciation in the comments, or even go to roextended.ro and donate to him as a thank you for the wonderful things he does for us. With that said, I'm right now holding on EAA. That isn't important. The horrible truck I'm using right now, it sounds good, but it looks horrible. Don't mind that either. Let's focus on the big map setup. And for the big map setup to work, you will need as a base ETS2 version 1.32. You will need all 4 map DLCs, including Italia. By the way, High Future, you Future will not need Baltics to play this. In fact, I think the Baltics will crash the game. Anyway, all 4 map DLCs are required. You will also need to use the exact same versions I am using. The links to all the maps and fixes that I'm showing you in the setup, all the links are found in the description. If you can't get the maps to work, make a new profile and try it out there and see if it works. Please, when you create a new profile and see if it works, do not add anything but the maps I am using, and fixes of course, that I am using in my setup when you test everything to see if it works. If it works, fantastic. Add out whatever other mods you may have in your original profile that causes the game to crash or whatever, and hopefully it will work. And if it doesn't, tough luck. You can use the new profile you created to use this pretty huge map. And as always, I will try to help you the best I can in the comments. I will, after this video, start working on a support video as well, because I have a list of, I think it's 20 questions or so, that 95% of you are asking over and over and over again, so I'm just gonna make a video explaining all of those things, so that in the future when I have that video released, all questions that are answered in the support video, I'm just gonna send you a link to that video, because I can't handle the number of support cases anymore. And if my big map setup for ETS2 132 gets as popular or more popular than it did for version 131, that means I will have over 100,000 views of that videos, and I can't handle all the support questions, because it is easy to forget something, and that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Anyway, I think I've said enough. Let's dive into it, shall we? And here we have it. The first mod we add at the bottom of the mod manager is PJIndo map. Just above it we have the base Map by EAA file. That could be the bus version instead, that works just as fine. Above it we have the def file, or the just the Map by EAA 5.0.3 current version. We have the model file for Great Step, the map and def file, and then we have Southern Region, model 321 def and map. And make sure that you download the separate def and map file within the 001 to 006 files where you download Southern Region. You'll find a def and map file, but there is also an updated file that you need to download and overwrite the def and map file that came with the 001 to 006 files. And then, since I speak English, I have added the English city names for Southern Region. If you can read Cyrillic, you don't need it. Then we have the YKS files, and we have the model 2 file first, and you'll have to check the information and package name to find out that it is the model 2 file. And then we have the next file above that, which is the obviously model 1 file, and again check the package name to verify that you have that one. Next one is the definitions file, or the def file. For those of you who together with me did some modding of the def file, you will remember that we had to make a def copy file. You now have to replace that with the original def file instead. Otherwise you will have crashes. So there's that. And then we have the new YKS fix version 5 by Arayas. And that is the actual map file, and it goes above the def file. If you're running version 4 or 3 or 2 or anything like that, you will have crashes. So make sure you download the new version and use that instead of the older version 4 or even older version 3. So there's that. Then we have the open spaces files. And at the bottom we have the model file, then we have the map file, then the Russian open spaces file, vehicle files, and finally the vehicle's truck file. And above that, if you do not speak if you do speak English, you have the English names, city names for ROS 6.0. That file is still valid and works. Then we have the first road connection between Russian open spaces and the Great Step, connection 1.0. And we have Promods package 321, media, map, definition, and assets. And above that we have the fix Promods 2.27 and EAA 4.6. It's an old fix, but it still works, and it is required if you want to use EAA. If you don't have this file, you will have crashes. Unless you remove EAA, you will have crashes if you still have this file. So make sure that if you're using EAA, you have this file, and if you don't use EAA, you remove this file. Simple as that. Then we have the next one, which is the prefabs for Sardinia. This file is probably not needed, but I'm gonna make sure Sardinia works, so we add it anyway. Then we have the map file and the ferry file. Above that we have Rusmap Model 2, and then the Rusmap Rusmap model file, and above that the Russian map file, as well as the def file. Then we have the spruce fix file, and if you do not have the spruce fix file, you will have crashes in some places in Rusmap, not all over, and the game will still load without it, but if you don't have that file, you will have crashes in Russia. So make sure you have that file. Same goes with the Rusmap version 1.8 fix file. If you don't have this file, you will have crashes on Russian open spaces. There are files in Rusmap that are required by ROS, and those files are, there's some troubles with it, so you need that fix for ROS. Then we have the Promods Rusmap road connection. Very important as well, because you want to connect Promods and Rusmap, obviously. And then we have the road connection between Russian open spaces and Rusmap. Then we have the Romania extended files, the RoEx file. We have file number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we have the Romanian extended English city names before we have the road connection between Romania and Promods and YKS Turkey. The ferry connections goes on top of that, both of them. Then we have the no ferry connection between southern region and Italy, simply because in real life there is no ferry between Italy and southern region. It's not possible unless that ferry can fly. And then we have Afromap on top of that, version 1.6. We have Paris. We have the island, which is a scenery mod. On the island, you can't actually pick up any cargo or deliver any cargo. That doesn't work, and that's not because of the setup, it's because of the map mod itself. So it's just a scenery map. Then we have Emden version 1.02c, and on top of that a very, very, very important file, the Promods 2.30 plus legacy compatibility file. And make sure you do not use the Poland rebuilding variant, because we haven't added Poland this time yet, so that won't work, but this file you are going to need it. And finally we have Arayas SuperZoom version 2. It's a super zoom that enables us to add pretty much whatever mods we want to add in the future to the big map. I can't really see that there's going to be any limitations to how many maps we can add, and then by that making the map incredibly wide or long, going east, south, west, north. We can add a ton of maps on top of everything if we want, using this zoom. So this is probably the last zoom I'll ever need. And finally, if we take a look at the map here, you'll see that it isn't completely aligned in the way we would normally have it. And I've been working my ass off to align the map to the underlying background image of Europe. For aesthetical reasons, it doesn't affect gameplay in any way that the map looks like this. I'm going to continue working on it to find out what is causing this, but I decided to go ahead and release my video because A, it doesn't affect gameplay, and B, every time I move maps around trying to figure this one out, it takes me, even if it's only a tiny little road connection, it literally takes me 30 minutes to load this map. So it takes a ton of time moving these files around. I can move 2 road connections in an hour. That is basically what we are talking about here. I've been working really hard on it, and I'm gonna continue working on it. I will fix it at some point. So I guess that by the time we get Poland rebuilding and or Scandinavia mod, I think I'll have this sorted out and include that in that video. So if we look at the EAA map first, you'll see that the map is pretty close to Promods and Ireland. And because of this, because the sectors from Ireland is actually overwriting a tiny bit of EAA, but considering how little it is, I have decided that I wanted to keep both the maps anyway. So the cities and roads on Ireland are complete. And then somewhere here, there it is. Here is a broken road, and there's absolutely nothing I can do to fix it. You're just gonna have to live with it like I do. We have 70,000 other kilometers of roads in Brazil to play with, so live with it. Now if we were to place EAA on top of Promods, we will have the opposite problem. We will have all these roads here removed from the map and overwritten by EAA instead. So I prefer to keep Ireland and get a tiny road in EAA removed. And as you can see, EAA is absolutely huge. And together with EAA, obviously we have Promods. Then here again you can see how the map isn't really aligned at all. We have Emden, we have Paris rebuilt, we have Sardinia and the island that I spoke about earlier, and then we have the 1.6 version of Afromap. PJIndo is down here. We have Turkey here, and as you can see, it overrides the island over here on Promods in its current version. Once Arayas have recreated the map on the 1:19 scale, we will have all of Promods, that island, available to us again. But for now, we're gonna have to live without it. Of course, then we have Romania Extended, and as you can see, Romania Extended is getting further and further into Ukraine. We have Southern Region, we have the Great Steppe, and we have Rusmap up here. And why haven't I ever taken that road? I need to do that trip. We have the 2 road connections I was talking about from Great Steppe, and here from Rusmap to ROS, both of them. And then of course we have ROS itself, a pretty big map in its own right. And that's it. What we are missing is the Scandinavia mod. The Scandinavia mod didn't make it. I can load it, but unfortunately it completely breaks all the roads in Bergen in Norway. So it doesn't work. We will simply have to wait for an official update of Scandinavia mod, a 0.5 version, I guess, for Promods 2.31. So that is unfortunate, but I really can't add it when it completely destroys Bergen. There was a huge boulder in the middle of the road as well. It really didn't want to play. So that's unfortunate. And of course, just as unfortunate is the fact that Poland Rebuilding didn't make it either. Yes, I modified the files, and yes, I was able to load it and even haul on it without any problems, really. The problem is instead that you have a lot of black holes in the surrounding areas in various places. Prefabs that aren't loading, they are missing. So that is unfortunate. We will have to wait for an official update of Poland Rebuilding 2.3, I guess. Once that is available, I'll add Poland Rebuilding to the setup as well. And the last map mod we are missing is the Russian highways. I didn't add them because I wasn't happy with how they looked. There's a lot of bugs with the Russian highways, even for Pro mods, turns out, so I'm not gonna add it yet. And here it feels like there should be a road connection between Rusmap and Promods. There isn't yet, but again, the road connection we are using now is for Promods 230 and Rusmap 1.8.1. When you drive over to these two cities, you won't see it as an actual broken road. There isn't really a broken road there. It just feels like there should be a connection between these two cities, Daugavpils and Minsk. In the future there will hopefully be one. And I think that is what I have to say about the big map setup for now. I want to thank you so much for watching, and again I want to thank Arayas a ton for making the fix for us, the CNAP CNAP fix. Thank you very much, Arayas. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and if you haven't already done so, the subscribe button as well, and do not forget to click on the bell to get notification. We like bells this time of year. It's getting close to Christmas. With that said, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye bye.